Alright, what's up, trolls and girls? So I was watching the stream tonight, and obviously by tonight I mean Tuesday, just in case you're watching this on a different day. And as you can tell by the title of the video, I got an idea, and I've been keeping an eye on the tips tracker all day Tuesday for Piece of Peace, and I hope you're having fun, buddy, if you hear this. I hope you're safe and just, enjoying yourself. He's on vacation, by the way, and just don't even think about the pig. Don't watch any of his videos. Don't even watch this video. I command you to not watch this video, but I hope you're having fun, man. And then just, what a shock, man. One person, again, made up 80 to 90% of all his tips tonight. One person also made up 80 to 90% of his super chats tonight. And I was just listening to the subhuman known as Slayer just send tip after tip. And I was just blown away at the fact that this guy can't even type in chat. He can't have a normal conversation with anyone. He literally has to just tip, and that's the only way Phil will read his messages. And I watched most of that terrible stream tonight. Phil was barely talking to anyone if it wasn't a tip. He might have spoken to 5 subhumans the entire night outside of tips. And I don't mean hi, I mean like actually reading their questions, having a conversation with somebody. 5 people at the most outside of tips. And as always, we all know how shitty he is, but when you're able to make a video about it, it hits home that much more. So, it got me thinking, how much does it cost to talk to Phil Burnell, the very high-priced escort? And let's go ahead and take a look at this picture here. And here's the total number of tips tonight for the night stream. And just look at this shit, man. 4 people outside of Slayer tipped tonight, and they accounted for $10. $10 fucking dollars. That's what a DSP stream is worth nowadays. Without one whale, $10. And then look how often this subhuman had to tip his master to get his attention and have a conversation with him. It's unbelievable. So I went ahead and gathered up a few of Slayer's tips, and let's see how the conversation went.
Slayer tipped me $1.50, says, I'm shocked they fire you and you immediately stop working that day as well. In Singapore, for big companies, they give you at least a few days notice in advance. If not, usually it's 1 month notice before your last day of work. Nope, in America, it's you're gone that day, leave now. Because what we have here in America, you may not know, I don't know if it's like this in Singapore, it's called at-will employment. Okay, so Slayer did 2 tips. His first tip, he says, for most companies in Singapore, it's based on contract signing. You need to be committed at least 3 months under probation, and based on your performance, you can then be hired full-time or be fired. And also in the contract, it states a period of advance notice. He then tipped again. He says, although my experience in contract signing is based on working at a hospital, it was thorough, with details on salary, job scope, working hours, promotions, leaves, medical coverage, dress code, and behavior, as well as termination notice. In America, if you're going to get hired by a company that's like a salary company, it is similar. There's a lot of those things covered, and you also get health care and you get other stuff as a result of working for said company. But there is no protection, like I said, because it's called at-will. It's literally called at-will employment, meaning at any time at your will you can leave, or at any time they can terminate your employment, basically for any reason, as long as it's not like a discrimination purpose deal. And because of that, yeah, a company just say get the fuck out, and you're gone. Like, literally, you're gone. So, kind of messed up, right? But that's how it is here. Slayer has just done a whopping $23 tip. Thank you very much, Slayer. He says, this will get you to the first goal. Because of COVID, most jobs are affected. Luckily, in Singapore, the government has reserves that they took out billions to help the people affected by COVID and sectors affected, and it helped out the economy. That sounds amazing. Here in America, we got 2 crappy stimulus checks, or was it 3? I don't even remember. And it was barely enough to pay anyone's anything. It was such a laughably small amount of money. Seriously, it was just a huge joke. And basically after that, the government was like, you're on your own. And it's just been a huge fucking mess. We have like no leadership. We have no way to really do anything to recover from this. There's no end in sight at this point. So it's good to hear that you had a much better time with your government, the way that they handled stuff. At least from what you're telling me, it sure sounds better than the American screw job. Thank you very much, Slayer, for the very generous tip. Yes, we have now hit the Tier 1 tips goal, which means it is Gunner Glass's time. Guys, I'm still around for about another half an hour or so tonight, okay? Just so you know. Slayer has done another $1.50 tip. Says to add on, in Singapore, the government had 4 phases of support that aids businesses affected. People who lost their jobs due to COVID-related reasons do get monthly support and are given the option for skill learning to help them get re-employed. So, getting back to what Slayer was saying. Slayer took another $1.50 and he said, here in Singapore, hold on. Here in Singapore, mask wearing is required when outside and enforced by the police. If people resist wearing the mask, they get prosecuted and fined or jailed. Vaccination is required to dine, visit malls, and go to work. Slayer did another $1.50 tip and says, here in Singapore, because of the pandemic, there's people employed as safe distancing ambassadors. They enforce distancing and mask wearing. If people resist the advice and warnings, police are called in and then they're prosecuted in court. Here you go. And you know, I hate to say it, for that would literally, I feel what would have to happen here to be effective. How can you have mandates, right? But then there's no actual way to enforce the mandates. That's really the problem in America. There's no way to enforce this stuff because every state does it different, and there's no across-the-line way to do it. It just kind of gets brushed under the rug. Yeah, we have a mandate. Doesn't mean everyone's doing it. Every day I go out and there's people without masks on, and no one does anything. They just ignore them. They act like it's not happening. They're just like, oh well, and they walk right by them and don't talk to them. Just act like they don't exist. You know, nothing is done. He's wrote. Slayer's done another tip. He says, you know, earlier on I mentioned K-pop and how popular it is. Korean dramas are also popular worldwide. Are you familiar of any Korean dramas? I mean, outside of Squid Game, no. Probably not. I don't think I've heard of any of them. Then again, if you ask me to name an American drama today, I probably couldn't do that either. I don't even have television. I don't.
And just what a great conversation by two very well-respected friends there, and just blah, blah, blah. But did you hear one of the clips where he said, quote, we got 2 or 3 crappy stimulus checks, unquote. Now, first off, you denied at the time that you were eligible to receive them. You know, your bank leaks come out, and what a shock. He got at least one of them, if not 2. And now they're just, again, crappy stimulus checks that didn't help anyone. Dude is such a fucking liar, man. He lies about anything. And this also makes me think back to the overnight $1,100 tipper that he wasn't going to tell anyone about until Tevin caught it and made a video about it. Or the 6K statue guy that he chased for weeks and only spoke about it after the guy released the emails. Typical fucking snake, man. So, anyways, you would think that it's bad enough that one subhuman has to pay just for the privilege of talking to Phil. But no. Like fucking cockroaches, they're everywhere. And now, let's look at the subhuman known as Kevin Bernstein Bears. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first picture. So, Kevin Bernstein Bears super chats. Shame. They miss out on a great employee. I would hire you. Look at what you built still. A 13-year, good Jesus, this guy's language, this guy's grammar. A 13-year growing business with 13 more years to come. Their loss. Next picture. Bouncing back from job loss is hard, but you did good. This guy, I don't know if he's a real person or not. I'm starting to think he's a drone and he's not real. And then look at that. We got Derek down there. Hey, buddy. At DSP Gaming, what were some of your favorite sitcoms from the 80s and 90s? And I don't even know if DSP answered that. He just fucking blew him off. Maybe he answered him. And I hope you're ready for Derek Day tomorrow, Bud Tay. Next picture. Kevin Bernstein Bears says, any tips to bounce back from lost job? No, he ain't got no fucking tips for you. You give the tips to him, dumbass. Black lady walking up there. How is that person not banned? It's obviously a fucking meme or troll. He inadvertently took down a bully in a parking lot, but other than that, Phil does not resort to violence. Get the fuck up out of my face, troll. And save some money. Kevin Bernstein, did you lose your job? These people. Next picture. Kevin Bernstein Bears. Friends are good to have. Glad you have them, Phil. Amen. And then Brink asked Derek, what's your favorite Pokemon anime series? We all want to know Derek's. Next picture. Kevin Bernstein Bears. Happy birthday, Derek. May God bless your day, friend. And very nice message. Thumbs up. We all agree with you, Kevin and Derek. Hope you're ready for that day tomorrow, buddy. Then some other idiot. Pointless if you have immunity from COVID, shots, or both. Blah, blah, blah. Next picture. Kevin Bernstein Bears says, cops can arrest you for trespassing if you don't wear masks. Shut the fuck up. And then look up top. Look who shows up to say romance cat. You dumb fuck. And I know you're going to show up on this video because you show up regularly. You say the same thing every time. I'm starting to think we need to put you down, buddy. You either need to start saying something else or it's time to euthanize your sorry ass. Phil's side wants to reset Earth until the next pandemic. Later, no one cares about your saying, buddy. Okay. And then Ryan Wilson here. Joe Rogan and Dr. Malone don't know what they're talking about. Next picture. The Bernstein Bear says, for your safety, best to follow the main date and get booster. And then some other people. Singapore, comply. It's called civil disobedience. Anti-vaxxer or either ignorant or just antisocial threat. Coming from a subhuman in a DSP chat calling somebody else antisocial. That's fucking rich, buddy. And then the last picture for Kevin Bernstein Bears. Took 4th shot and planning for 5th. I am COVID free. COVID's not what you need to worry about, buddy. There's something else going on with you. You need to get checked out. It's in your head. And then Gorilla Pimp at Brink. You funny ass hell, bro. You remind me of this one guy I knew named called Car Battery. Again, get the euthanization team over here for Gorilla Pimp. We're done with his ass as well. Oh my God. What else do we got down here? Kevin is insane. I agree with you, Clyde. Kevin is insane. And then Ramrod Reamer at DSP Gaming. Phil, be honest. Are you going to play Halo multiplayer with your members later on this month? And the answer is a no. You dumbass troll. Fuck up out of my face. And just, once again, I'm left speechless, man. I don't know how they do it. I see so much of this, and yet continuously I'm just left speechless. I don't understand. And again, just one person responsible for 85, 90% of all the tips. Phil just doesn't care. He doesn't see a problem with it. It's fucking insanity, man. It's insanity. He's propped up, same people every time. Nothing changes. Insanity. So, hope you boys and girls are ready to celebrate Derek Day. There's no shenanigans, nothing like that. We're just there to ask DSP questions and wish Derek a happy birthday. That is all. And if you happen to have the same name and profile pic as Derek and they can't figure out which one you are, well, that'd be just a terrible shame, wouldn't it? But that's not our fucking problem. So if you're not subbed to the backup channel, you definitely need to sub to it. And people have been very supportive and wanting me to fight the good fight. And just know that no matter how many times they knock me off, man, I'm going to come back. It's going to suck to lose the monetization options and whatever else. But, as my mama always told me, that's just the way it be sometimes, man. But I ain't going nowhere, baby. You can believe that. You can take that to the fucking bank. In fact, Mid-First Bank and cash it because they'll honor that bitch. Let me give a couple of quick shout outs and then we'll sign off. A huge shout out to Well Biologist. Now, that's a real homie right there, and someone I know I can count on if the time ever comes. I talked to him recently and let him know about something that's going on, and he immediately stepped up and was like, hey, however I can help, man. So thank you, homie. I appreciate you, brother. Nick, who said he enjoyed all the DSP content that I put out last year and just wanted to tip me and say he's looking forward to another year of it. And looking back at the amount of videos I put up, all things considered, I think I did a pretty decent job in my first 7 months on YouTube. So thank you for recognizing that, Nick. I appreciate it, man. Victor, no message. The name looked kind of familiar, but I'm not 100% sure. So I just say thank you, Vic, and I appreciate the support, brother. And I hope your year is starting off right. Nasir, no message again, but the offer still stands, brother. If you ever want to chat, you hit me up on Discord or Twitter, and I will get back to you. Thank you very much. And to Dan, who has tipped me a few times now, and I appreciate the support, Dan. But don't go out of your way to feel like you need to keep supporting, man. I know you got my back, and, I'm very grateful for that. And I'm going to keep an eye out for your videos or live streams, whatever you decide to do, brother. Next video, I'm really not sure yet. Someone had asked me today or yesterday if I was willing to go over the Rambo and Howard podcast and talk about it. And that one is already on the list, but it would be a longer video, so I've been shying away from it. But the idea I had was to listen to a couple of segments and then show actual video proof from DSP in the last few years doing exactly what they were accusing him of back then. I think it would make for an interesting idea, but it would just take a little while to finish, man. Either that or something more recent. Let me know if y'all have any ideas for something else y'all want to see, and, I'll see what I can put together. There's some stuff I've come across recently as far as all these tips DSP has been getting for a few months. I've tried to start putting a video together on it already, but it's so fucking much, man. I'm not sure that I can do it all by myself. Some of y'all have seen me talk about it in the chats, though, recently. I've even went as far as to say as who the actual pay pig is. So if I can figure out a way to shorten that down, I may work on that next. Outside of that, just give me some ideas down in the comments of what y'all want to see, etc., etc. Little short video I threw together tonight. Just how much does it cost to talk to this fucking guy, man? It's ridiculous, and I don't know when this shit's going to end, but, I'll be here to cover it. I will talk to y'all very soon. Thank you for riding with me. And as always, brothers, let's fucking go.